Blah, 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 blah. Good morning to you, too. Good morning, everybody. Choppy day. Choppy day in the market. Again, I took some Microsoft put credit spreads. Uh, November 21st, 510, 505s. I got $1.05 credit on the first batch and $1.25 on the second batch. Also traded Moderna off some potential news of a takeover. Good morning. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Sam. Hey, everybody. Is Moderna starting to move again? Again, there's a SPY. Just not really doing much of anything. A gap down this morning. A nice bounce up. Looked like it was trying to fill the gap. Has not done it. It's just been riding along just above the VWAP. This is very low probability trading environment right here. Very low probability. So it's like meat grinder action. IWM actually holding up a little bit better than the other indexes. Again, Microsoft, we went with some credit spreads on that was pointed out by one of the members in the room. I appreciate that. Still pulling down, but again, we're going to see where it is here at the end of the day. I sold some of my GLW that I put on yesterday. You find close out the final Macy's weekly at the money. Total was about 30%. Good job. Nice job, Sam. Very nice on Macy's. We'll see what Microsoft does. It's pretty weak right now. It's breaking down below the 15. It's got support at 519. Again, I'm looking at the daily chart. I'm not going to worry about it until the end of the day. Still got a lot of room down to the 50 and the 100. What do I think about playing a rebound in meta? I don't know. It's bounced this morning all right. It's putting in a hammer bar. You know, you've got a lot of resistance above there, Larry. You've got this 665 right here that it's hit. You get this one here. You got the 200. It's going to be a lot of resistance in here. You know, this is a pretty big gap fill now. Pop the gap fill in there. I mean, it's a pretty big gap. But I would be actually the gap comes all the way down to here. But I'd be hesitant to until we see some confirmation here that it's going to move. That's a pretty big pounding. Again, this is low probability trading environment here, folks. Yeah, I know. I saw the news on that, Ari, that it was because Meta said it was going to raise its AI capex. Sounds like an overreaction to me. Yeah, it does to me. It does to me as well. But I've got to look at my technicals on here right now. You know, I don't know how to if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think the fact that they're raising the capex on AI is probably not. I think it probably is an overreaction, but. It's not one I have a lot of I don't have enough confidence in it. So the SPY pulling back here now below the VWAP again. Again, this is low probability trading environment. We don't, I'm not taking a lot of trades. Again, I took a credit spread, which is, again, this is a, in a market like this, that's a good trade. I think it's a you're not taking a, you are taking a directional trade up to a point, but the stock can drop and you can still make money on this thing. But right now the market's chopping all over the place. So again, I traded Moderna off news. That was a news trade, and I traded Microsoft as a put credit spread off of a big drop on their earnings with in anticipation of a bounce. So two trades that were not very dependent on the market. SPY coming in here. Still, again, low probability trading environment. Very low probability. Alfie. Alfie. Nobody here. Alfie. There's nobody. There's nobody here. Nobody here. Nope. Okay, my dog just had a little uproar. Somebody walked by the house. All right, see if we have any questions here. I'm not really doing anything right now. I'm in the Microsoft put credit spread. I played Moderna. I took off some of my GLW this morning, the ones I put on yesterday, but I'm holding my original ones. Still got the 840 sell order on them. What kind of dog do I have, Philip? Your wife is pretty obsessed with her cat. Dog died a few years ago. Not much else to talk about in this market. We got a rescue dog. We've had rescue dogs. This is a small dog. This is a Papillon. He's a Papillon mix, but he's a Papillon. He's about 8 pounds, and he's a bossy dog. He's the boss of the house. His name is Alfie, and he's really a great pet. He loves my wife. When she lays on the couch to watch TV, he just curls right next to her and stays there. And so, yeah, it's a great dog. And he loves Chewy stock. That's right, Roger. He loved Chewy stock. We were short Chewy, and when Chewy went up against us and we had to take a loss on it, Roger said it was because my dog was behind the scenes. He was buying a whole bunch of Chewy stuff to try to drive the stock price up. So we hold him responsible for that loss. He sounds like an ankle biter. Yeah, he is kind of an ankle biter. He's a rescue dog, so he was abused before we got him. And how anybody can abuse a little dog like that, I personally, my own opinion is if anybody abuses animals, there's something wrong with them, and I don't trust him at all. But anyway, he's happy here, and he's just a really great dog. He's a great comfort to us as loves my daughter, a few of the neighbors, but there's a lot of people he doesn't like. But he has a bunch of my wife's girlfriends in the neighborhood that he loves when they come around. So, yeah, good dog. Dogs are good for your health. They really are. Most people that are dog owners that keeps their blood pressure lower. It's they really are. The whole point is to try to make us happy. No yanks, Roger. Animals are the best, Roger. You're right about that. I agree. Trust them a lot more than I do most people. You rescue too, Ari? Yeah. Wow. Yep, they're great. Guess we can talk about dogs because there's not much going on in the market. This is pretty horrible price action. Absolutely. LPTE, and when I say, if you're new to the room, when I say LPTE, that means low probability trading environment. What that should mean to you when you hear LPTE is don't take any trades, or if you take any trades, make them small, get in for a small period of time and take profits on them. It's you don't want to have much risk on it all on a day like it's LPTE, which in LPTE means that doesn't mean there aren't some stocks that are moving nicely. They probably are. There's some decent ones. But what it means is we have no market tailwind in any direction to help any of our stocks. So anything you trade is going to be based, that stock price is going to be based on that stock's momentum and with no help from the market, which makes the probability of a successful trade lower than it normally would be if you had some market to help you. Again, I repeat these things all the time. Our objective here is not to make trades. Our objective is to make money. When the market's doing this, you don't want to be taking trades. We've got to get some direction here. We don't have any direction at all. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down. So what do? Well, I took credit spreads in Microsoft. Microsoft is something that doesn't really matter if we have an LPTE day. As long as it holds our support levels, we're okay. It's still dropping down. And I took Moderna off of news, in and out of that one, which is still going, by the way. Microsoft is you can get $1.48 now for the spread. I'm not going to add any more. I got enough right now, but. How'd you make out there, Ruthie? You need some help?
No, I got it.
You do?
I don't know why aluminum foil is so damn expensive. Crazy. No, I mean, really.
Tariffs, probably.
Oh, why don't you use aluminum here? Allison is sick.
Oh, she's sick.
Canceled her first school appointment.
No kidding. What's the matter?
She's like weak and
Sounds like
really,
me.
really tired.
Yeah.
Sounds like what you have, but
Why don't you
I did because it's like $7 as opposed to closer to 8 at everywhere else. So I don't have time, you know, I don't.
That's good magic.
Yeah. And I still have some of my yogurt. The reason I bought it was so I could give her one.
Yeah.
Because I'm eating hers. Which is good.
Did you get a fever or anything?
She didn't say.
That sucks, especially on Thursday, which is a busy day.
Yeah, so she canceled the first one and then she went ahead and canceled the other one.
Yeah.
But she's still gonna do her 2:30 and 5. Yeah.
Get it? Put that back. Off into the yard and the house.
Oh, good. It's not bad out.
Car's locked.
It's not bad out. There. Sorry. It does that itself.
Nice out.
Yeah.
You going back out again, Ruthie?
Yeah, I've got a PT at 2
Oh,
o'clock.
at 2 o'clock? Yeah, hey.
Huh?
Sorry to hear about Allison.
Yeah, but she's gonna try to make her after. She just couldn't make it
When you
happen.
feel shit like that, especially what she has to do, she doesn't concentrate.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
Alright, I'm gonna let you put these away.
Okay. And they'll sit
Martin doing nothing today.
doing nothing, huh?
LPTE has people are just posting trades left and right.
Right.
I said, what the fuck is the matter with these people?
Ask them if they're making any money. Are you guys making any money?
All right, so we watch the market just chop around here again. It's a low probability trading environment right now. That means don't be taking very many trades, if any. All I've taken today is the Microsoft put credit spread we put on out until November 21st. and I traded Moderna for just a quick trade off of news. That's it. I mean, there have been decent setups, but the market's not giving us anything. You know, AMAT looked great this morning, had a beautiful run up, looked like it was a beautiful long, and it just gave back all those gains. That's what I want. GD is a nice setup, but again, it's been grinding up pretty nicely. GD has been it's decent. INBX was potential intraday trade, but pulled right back again. Tough trading environment, very difficult. Took 56 cents off Moderna stock. Good job, Ramkumar. Nice. Very nice. Your dogs give you trading advice. Yeah, sometimes that's a good advice. My dog told me not to sell Chewy, and I did. Okay, see if we get anybody over in questions over here in YouTube. Two questions here. Question: I mentioned a total risk of 2,000 for some trades for Microsoft. That would mean taking 5 spreads because that would be a total loss of the spreads. Well, when you're trading Microsoft, what you're trading is you're trading $500 spread, right? Minus the 105 or let's say $100 you collected. So your risk is $400. So a $2,000 risk would be 5 contracts, right? 5 contracts. Did I fully or partially exit Moderna? I took all my calls off. It's still going up. I could have made more, but I just wanted to do a quick trade on the thing. And again, I got a lot of premium for it because of the implied volatility on Moderna when it was moving up so fast. The implied volatility is getting a little bit less now. So yeah, I'm out of it. Whichever it was, Alfie didn't like it. Yeah. Alfie does not like LPTE. You're looking for some potential time spreads to do. Lumen, early women, Riot, good profits, good options. I haven't looked at them yet, Alex. Let me take a look and see what time spreads look like for tonight. We've had actually 2 good ones in a row. Some folks, we had this one, this Merck yesterday, get in for 34, out for 42, which was pretty nice. But I had folks today that got out for 52 and somebody got out for 61. That was a nice trade. And we had CNC the other day as well. Let me take a look at time spreads. I'm not looking at much else, so let me look at those. How's Riot look? And Lumen. Yeah, Lumen's is only $11 stock, so it's not going to cost very much. If you're paying commissions on your options, it's going to be tough to make any money on that because it's probably going to be in the I'd have to look, but it's going to be in the range of 8, 9, 10 cents most likely. Riot doesn't really, from what I see here, doesn't have the implied volatility difference that it needs. Let me see what it is in the platform. And Riot's a relatively inexpensive stock too. It's $21 stock. They got some big implied volatility. They've got some big move differences. Riot's normal average move is about 8.5%. They're expecting 12. Lumen has a normal average move about 12%. They're expecting 22. But again, I don't think you're going to be able to get enough in there to justify it if you pay commissions on your options. Let me look at Riot, however, though. All right, so implied volatility, it's at $21. Applied volatility 193, 194 basically. 194 for this week, and 111 for next week. So about 80, about 83. You divide 83 by 194. 190, now it's 199, but it keeps moving around. Yeah, that's okay. Riot's okay. You can justify taking a trade in Riot. It beats 20% of the time, which is right on the cusp of where you want it to be. You want it to actually be a little bit lower than that. Lumen only beats 13% of the time. The IV difference in Lumen is fine, but the price is going to be very cheap. It's not going to cost very much, so I'm not sure you can. Like I said, if you're paying premiums, if you're paying commissions on your options, it's going to be more difficult to justify. RKT is also potential, but again, it's a cheap stock, only $16. Gilead is also a potential one here. There's actually quite a few potential time spreads out here. Gilead, Western Digital, Ari, ARWR still pushing up. All right. You being a hog today, ready for the slaughter? Yeah, ARWR has made a nice move up today. Another 6%, pretty nice. VTYX also strong. Again, the acquisition targets are off the Moderna news. Thank you, VTYX. Yeah, 808's got resistance at 865. It'd be VTYX. Yeah, VTYX. SPY bouncing up now, finally, back up above the VWAP again. Just not much. See how far it goes. Microsoft starting to bounce back up again as well. Okay. Have a good time. It's pretty nice out.
Yeah, it is. Satan is. Alright.
I got to do a time spread on Gilead. This is a time spread.
Alright, come on, let's go.
Sell um, the October 31st. Let me just put that in there right. $120 calls. And buy the November 7th. $120 calls. Going for about 32 cents right now. $0.32 or so. All right, so that's Gilead time spread. Okay, about 12:20 right now. Again, I put a Gilead. Whoops. About 12:20, I just put a Gilead time spread on. and we have Microsoft put credit spread, and that's it. And I did Moderna today. I took uh, profits in that Moderna news based trade. That's all. I did take some GLW off earlier, pulling back a little bit right now. I took the ones I added yesterday for a good profit, but I'm still holding my original trade. Quite a bit of volume in Gilead. It should be okay to get filled. It's, over 400 contracts today. And yeah, like you're in Tradius and no commissions. Yeah, then you can do Riot if that's the case. Again, I just took Gilead. Um, Riot's okay as well. If you don't have any commissions, you should be okay on it. Is GLW selling off here all of a sudden? And let's see what the SPY's doing. Yeah, SPY's coming down a little bit. GLW selling off. You had to go to 35 for Gilead, really? Huh. I see it's printing 35 right now. Yeah, and the volatility is moving around quite a lot today on these things. SPY moved up here, now it's printing around, coming back down again. Again, GLW just took a pretty big red candle here on the 5-minute chart. Again, this is keep this in mind when you see if Gilead the GLW with that big red candle. Here's your daily chart. Here's where you're at. All right. So yeah, it's about close to even for the day. You look at the 5-minute chart and you say, oh my God, what's happening? What's happening? And then you go back over here and look, oh, everything's fine. So we got Gilead now. We'll see what it does. I already had to pay 35. He says, yeah, it's printing 35 right now. Um, what's the spreads on these? The spreads aren't that big. 25 cents on next week's and 25 cents on this week. So yeah, it's going to vary somewhere in there between probably 30 cents and 35 and 38 cents, I would say. And probably try to end up getting, somewhere in the neighborhood of $45 to $48 on a sale. That would be 30% or so. Even at 35, you're only getting intermittent fills. I mean, it's 25-cent spread. It looks like 360 by 385, 360 by 390. Um, the volatility is not hugely high. 53 for next week, 129 for this week. So the difference in implied volatility between this week and next week is really pretty substantial. It's about, out of 129, it's about 70, which is a lot. I mean, well over 50%. So there is a lot of implied volatility to be crushed there. We'll see if the implied volatility goes up during the afternoon. See if the price keeps increasing on that. Trading at 38 now. Yeah, the volatility is going up on this thing. It may be tough to get filled on it at 32 to 35. The questions on this Microsoft I see here in the Discord room about how what the risk is like on a credit spread. Again, it's the distance between your two strikes. In Microsoft's case, that's $5 or $500 a contract minus what you collected. So if you collected 105, you have a $395 risk per contract. All right. So if you wanted to do 2,000, take 2,000 total risk on the trade, you would buy 5 contracts. Ari pointing out Moderna just broke through some resistance. Yep. The implied volatility in the options dropped off quite a bit, though. And they're still going up nicely. Gilead printing 38 right now, so that's tough. Now it's 40. This is a really crazy thing on these Gileads because um, hmm. If you get filled on Gilead, I would go ahead and put a sell order in for 44 cents. if you're able to get filled, you could just put a sell order in at 44. It's running up here pretty high right now. It's up to 43, so I wouldn't chase it up there. Or 12:30. I'm gonna get some lunch pretty soon. Okay, SPY coming back down after popping up above the VWAP, coming right back down again. Again, this is really low probability trading environment. LPTE, very choppy price action. Very choppy price action. You just can't stick in anything very long. And again, I haven't done much here today. I get a credit spread and I took a time spread on Gilead. Again, those are basically not dependent on a market momentum either way. Especially Gilead. That time spread it's all based on earnings and basically harvesting volatility crush. But I consider a Tesla long test to 447 if it crosses the VWAP. I wouldn't be touching Tesla today. No. I wouldn't be touching Tesla today. This is the Tesla chart right here. Again, it had a nice move up here. Now it's pulling back. It's holding the 8 and the 15. I don't know which way it's going to go. If it gets above 447 and above the 8, you could trade it for a quick intraday trade, I suppose, to the upside. But you'd have to be right on that resistance level when you support level when you take it. And I'm just too risky for me to touch Tesla right now. It's on Microsoft, bouncing back up here again. Also GLW, which had a pullback on the 5-minute, still holding up pretty nicely today. $35 for you as well, Terry. Okay, got filled at 32 cents instantly, Jarek, on the GLD, Gilead. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's bid-ask spread out there. It just depends where you are in the queue and how soon you get filled. Is it okay to tell Gilead 121 strike instead of 120? Yes, it is. Yep. You'd have to take, sell the 121, buy the 121 for next week. Meta again testing the 200 SMA from the downside this time. Yeah, I don't know, what to tell you about Meta. I think it was probably an overreaction, but it's trying to bounce up above the 200. I mean, it's potentially an overreaction trade that Ari had mentioned earlier. It was overreacting on the fact that they were increasing the capex for AI. Didn't like it, but I think it probably was an overreaction. But this 200-day moving average is right there, so it's got a pretty big gap fill that it could run into. So there's the gap right there. If you wanted to trade it as an intraday trade, even above the 200, you could do that. You'd want to take it off the 8 or the 15, whatever, where it is right now, but you could take it. Like you could take it right here for a quick intraday trade. You get good momentum, it's coming off the 8, you've got a pop out of the box symbol. But just remember, if it gets below the 200, you got to get out. Would I consider this a long-term purchase price to own on Meta? I don't know. Marisha, if you want 32, you could push it up to 35. I wouldn't go any higher than 35 on the time spread. Seemed like you never get filled. Well, it's the luck of the draw sometimes. Is Apple good for a swing or a day trade? Anthony, Apple reports after the close tonight. You don't want to be messing with Apple into earnings. It would have to be an intraday trade, and you have no staying power with it because you got to get out today. Meta is expensive, by the way, if you buy it. If you even do an intraday trade, if you take it's 680. So if you took a 677.50, which is just slightly in the money, it's 1040 by 1060. There's some huge volume on the calls on these things and on the puts. Again, the 200-day moving average on Meta is 678.45. 678.45. To get into the trade, it has got to hold at 678.45. It's basically just pacing right along it right now. And the options are expensive. The 677.50s are about $10.70. So there's a lot of risk in this if it turns against you. You can wipe $2 or $3 off of that premium real quickly if it has a move to the downside. And you don't have the market giving you any lift here. Okay, Meta has to carry the whole load, which makes it a little bit riskier than it normally would be. Gilead trading back down to 37 now. Again, I wouldn't go any higher than 35. You should be able to get in at 35. Well, they say you should. I don't know if you will or not, but. All right, I'm going to get ready to get some lunch. Hey, Chris. On Gilead, that would be a debit, correct? Yes, it's a debit. Yeah, it's not. It's a time spread. So you're selling this week's calls, buying next week's calls. It's going to be a debit of $32 to $35, and you would try to take it off at around 44. If you get filled, put a sell order in for 44. That would give you a pretty nice 30-35% return. And if not, we'll just look at it in the morning. All right, I'm going to get ready to get some lunch. So I want to thank everybody from YouTube for being here today. Appreciate it. We had a lot of folks there today. I appreciate that. Again, if you're interested in my room or the alert service that I have or the software, this is the key thing here. This is the Spy Super System software that you can purchase that will go right on Thinkorswim or on Ninja. Right Line will put it on there for you. If you buy the software, then you'll have it forever. Well, if you buy the if you buy the lifetime, you'll have it forever. And this is what tells us whether institutions are in the trade and when they're not. And it's extremely, extremely useful for swing trades and for intraday trades. So again, rightlinetrading.com, and you can get the information that you want, or you can give them a call at 786-732-4656. Rory is there. He'll talk to you about any of these options as far as the room, the alert service, and or the alert, and all the software. Okay. Have a great afternoon, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow for Friday at about 11:30.